Yeah,
All right, welcome to roundtable discussions here.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
Cheers, boys.
I can't reach.
I'm not though. Yeah, I'm not ready.
They just fed me a bucket full of gnocchi. Gnocchi?
Never had that before in my life until today.
Gnocchi.
I've been eating since 12 o'clock.
So, might get a little lethargic, leave you guys up to this. Go take a nap. But, Narciso Crook, Anthony Peroni, Mike Salvatore.
Yeah, it's good. This is our first round table talk.
Yeah, what do you got to say?
The table's not round. It's a thing
that's the point
of beauty.
But,
that is the point. So
thanks, Mike. I really appreciate you.
We'll see where this goes.
Yeah,
We got a couple things we can talk about. Not a whole lot. Might just end up bullshitting for a while. See if we can cover some topics worthwhile listening to. In the end, you may not hear anything worth listening to, but we're going to sit here and have our protein shakes.
I guarantee that there will be something worth listening to while we sit here and talk.
There's
It's
four.
going to come out of Narcis's mouth.
It's going to come out of everybody's
definitely
mouth.
won't come out of Ant's.
No. Mike has never said anything positive. All right, stop yelling at me, Jose. No, I'm just kidding.
How are we making out? We good? Good.
I mean, today we had an absolute day. Can we talk about that? I want to talk about it all day. You know,
Defeated.
we defeat it. We get up. We're really excited this morning. Mike calls me at 12 o'clock. I don't know what he's doing.
10:45. Keep going.
He's like, I'll get to the gym. You know, we're gonna look for trucks today. I'll look for trucks. All right, I'm up. I had to take my truck to get oil change, rotated tires, whatever. So we get that done. We come here, head over to the Route 1 Lawrenceville Dodge, and it was just it was a shit storm. It was bad. The trucks there were great.
How long were you there for?
We were there for like 30 minutes. We hit 3 stops. We hit other places afterwards, but I mean,
Nowhere afterwards got any better, though.
no, it got worse. It got
Trucks
worse.
got nicer, but
Prices didn't?
prices did
No,
not.
honestly,
did not get better.
honestly, what got weirder was the people that we met. Like, after the dude with the American flag, what's his name? Bill?
Bill, yeah, Bill.
Hey,
What did Bill do? I'm curious to get to know
dude.
more Bill.
he's an umpire. Actually,
an
So
umpire.
he's already bad.
And because you guys play baseball, you must know Lou Pinella.
Yeah, he loves Sweet Lou.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sweet Lou. If
Good
you're
guy.
watching. He's the man.
But anyway, yeah, trucks nowadays are a bit out of my price range, so I think we're gonna run that red Ford out there, right into the ground.
The red rust bucket. That's what they
Yeah,
call that one.
That's gonna be
Side-
ran until nothing.
Some more news. Nars telling me he's looking for a car.
Yeah, I'm in the market for a vehicle.
That
You guys,
red F-250, 16 years old.
397,000 miles
Listen.
on it.
I will say this. I have always never really been into cars or vehicles or anything like that. So many guys are just crazy about cars, right? Like they're like, I love cars. They'll sit there and talk to you about a car, and I was always amazed at these guys that knew every make and model and trim and all the modes that this cars went in. They knew every spec, right? And I knew nothing. You talk to me about cars, I knew nothing. Well, that all changed when I was looking for cars, right? When I was getting in the market, which is very recently, I was just like, you know what, I want to buy my car, the car that I want, right? Not just any regular car, the car that I really want. That all changed, dude. I've been researching for the past 3 months, trying to find the right car in the price range, car that I like. Not necessarily a car that I'm gonna have for 10 years, but a car that I would have for 3, 4, 5 years, then move on. But dude, there's so many different options out there. There's so many different prices, A good thing to do is kind of set your price goal. You're not gonna go over that, then start looking, right? So I did that.
Side note, Kyle had a $700 or $300 over on his price note. 400 turned to 717.
Please meet this number, and he came back with something $317.
Listen, bud, I don't know if you're drunk or not. That's 700. That's what it says. Not 400.
700.
Anyway, the goal is, and this is what I was going to tell you, don't lose hope, because every single day that I log in to check out the cars again, there's new cars out there every single day. The same vehicle, people just sell them.
Yeah.
The prices change every single day. It's ridiculous. So
Did they change by $317?
That guy was drunk. I don't know.
poor Bill.
But anyway, we had a rough day at the dealership. Bit bit defeated. But nonetheless, we're sitting here. Why did we pick tonight?
So
We're leaving.
I am actually heading
Leaving
out.
for good.
Drop the
Getting
mic.
rid of them.
Leaving.
They
I'm
were
done.
actually cut from the gym. They're
Drop the
gone.
mic.
I'm gone. Cannot come back. It's my last couple hours in here.
Thank God. Honestly,
And-
I'm just kidding.
I am leaving for Tallahassee late tomorrow night. So I plan on sleeping all day and doing podcasts all night.
Yes.
Nice.
This is
Oh,
my
you'll be
last
doing
day.
this
as
without
well. We're me and Mike are headed south for the fall. We're gonna dabble in the class thing again, which is interesting. But yeah, we're gonna be there for a couple months.
Sick
and then-
invite, by the way.
You guys are more
He's,
than welcome.
Nars will come down. He knows he's invited.
I literally said everyone can come down. Everybody.
We're going
So
to
you-
try
yeah.
to get, if there's anybody out there that can watch Full Depth Gym here for a little bit, and we can get Kyle to come out and come down to Florida State with us,
It's
that'd be
the-
great.
you
Any
can't get-
volunteers, hit the link, whatever it is here, and let's get
Smash
somebody
that
to watch
subscribe
this
button.
thing to get somebody. Smash
Click
that button.
Smash that.
Let's get
button.
Kyle Elder to Tallahassee. This
We
Kyle
will,
to Tallahassee.
after they leave, we will have bets put down on how long the three of them leave or how long they make it down there
Yeah.
together.
It's really interesting.
Dom Sal's going with them.
Yeah, my brother.
Mike's brother.
He'll be
So,
gone.
It'll be those three.
He'll be out third night. He took a flight home already. And
Yeah.
that's
So
all.
you'll be taking classes on campus.
Online, but through the
You don't
Florida
have to
State
go
campus.
to school at
No.
all. I don't either. That's why I,
I
wanted
thought
to
that
do
was
it.
the whole reason you had to go down there.
No, well, I have one class that has to be in range of. I gotta get some tutoring in.
Okay.
If I need help, there's resources down there that I could.
He wants to be in Tallahassee.
And in Florida,
Yeah, he wants to be
weather.
in
the
Florida.
weather's a little nicer. It's
wants
gonna
to
get a
be in
little
Florida.
chilly. It's
He's got
gonna
the
be in Florida.
facilities.
I got the
He doesn't
facilities.
I'm
wanna be
taking
in
literally
Jersey.
all online classes, and I'm living
And
there.
Ant is just strictly taking
Ant
advantage
is
of the
coming
situation.
on my back,
Yes.
and I'm carrying him to Tallahassee.
I got a
taking classes
showcase
too.
full of beers. I'm going
Are
to
you?
Yeah,
Tallahassee.
yeah. I'm taking classes
Or
for the first time in
Panama
like
City. Man.
8 years.
Online?
Online classes, yeah.
Yeah,
One
we're
of
all
the-
going back to school, and this
Yeah,
baseball
we're all-
thing.
we're all
is-
going
let's
back
do
to
the baseball
Which
thing.
is another topic we'll be getting into in a little bit. These weird times we're in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this experience that we're kind of all going through that's kind of making changes in our
Yeah.
we
It's
talk
like-
about it.
Yeah,
It's making
it's
some
like
changes
crazy
in our
because
lives,
we've
so.
played baseball forever, and now the certainty of baseball is like gone. Like you talk to some people, they're like, there might not even be a spring training next year, which is
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, it's insane, man. And it's like, I love, though, that, us three right here, at least, we're being very productive. I see that, taking classes is, number one, a very mature thing to do in these times.
Absolutely.
And then, it's take advantage of your time. Like, at one point in my life, no matter how long I played baseball for, whether it's one more year, 5, 10, 20 years, I still want to have a degree on something.
Yeah.
Other than just being a professional in baseball, I want to be a professional student. I want to be a graduate. So,
Right, life after baseball.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you just never know. You never
There's an
know.
actual
Could be
website.
10
Life After
years,
Baseball, by the
15
way.
years. You just never know when it could be. But either way, there always will be a life after baseball.
So the fact that we're all taking classes right now, I think it's very mature. It shows a lot of, a lot of good things about, what we do with our time. And, it's like one of those things where it's like you have to make do with what you got right now. We got time, make classes.
Like me personally, I have to have something to do. Not like that. Like I need to have something where my life is going to be going forward. And you feel like in these times it's like you're at like a standstill or a stalemate. You're not like going anywhere.
Yeah.
And then now you don't even know like if our career is going to be available next year. I have to have something
And
to do.
I think that just kind of reflects on just another reason we're all here the day before we leave is having that group of people around you. And like I said, we shoot the shit all day long. We go through a whole bunch of shit. We have fun in here. And just having that group around you that we can all relate, that keeps you kind of sane through these crazy times.
They also work out and get better at what they do, but yes.
Yes.
They also do that fun stuff.
It's a
Yeah,
torture.
that's what we mean by
Don't
fun
come
stuff is one-legged squats.
There's a gun that shoots salt at you and you don't do it right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bug
Get the
assault
fuck
will
outta
get you
here.
from time to
Yeah.
time when
Band
necessary.
squats is fun.
Yeah, it's really funny when the band breaks and the other side goes flying, or
Yeah.
you're on the that thing over there. A band breaks, smacks you in the leg. All jokes aside, great gym.
Great garage.
Yeah.
This is we refer to this now as the Bat Cave, and you can't get the bat out of the cave, aka our sensei Kyle Elder. Like he was out. So he was out
assassin.
today looking at cars, and you could see it in his face that he missed here. Like he, not that he missed here.
It was more like an addict.
Yeah.
I had to get back to my thing.
It's like I don't want to do heroin, but I'm addicted now, so now I have to do it. That was
started to get a little anxious, and
a man's got to take care of his business.
He said it, and I had to look at my clock because I thought we were gone for a lot longer than we are. The way he reacted,
it was like the Twilight Zone.
It might have been an hour and a half of the only hour and a half Kyle Elder has had in the past 3 years. We got him to go to 3 car dealerships.
How about the time when we took him to up south for baseball, and he came and they like, you just say, I gotta get back to my gym. I gotta go. He didn't know how to act.
No, this is our spot.
Don't own a
spot.
business.
This is our spot. Everybody
his
here.
Business.
His spot, but we make it all of our spot.
And
actually, you know what? Let's get into this.
That's all I wanted to talk about. You know, I don't know if you were going where I was going with it, but
let's hear it.
Owning a business, right? Like, think about all the things that Kyle has to worry about, to keep track of, you know, like, of this place. He literally runs this place. You know, this is his business, right? So, like, obviously you want your business to succeed, and like the little things that you have to do to maintain a business running, to keep, you know, this place going. Like it's not as simple as people think. I'm sure Kyle's spent countless hours here. You know, hell, he built this place from the ground up basically, and like just think about all the hours that he put in. It would only be normal for him to be like wanting to get back over here. As much as he's already spent time here, he only wants this place to grow. So what do you think about that, Kyle? Like, what in your mind, like in your opinion, like talk about owning a business and like some of the things you have to do to keep this place like running.
Oh my God. Well, I must say right now it's become a lot easier because I have people around me that help. Jose, Samantha. I put Dom to work sometimes.
1 second side note before he gets into it. Jose is also been doing it. This is
his thing.
You guys haven't seen its Full Depth Productions. Go check that out because he does some great work.
Smash it.
And but go ahead.
Smash it.
But early on, when it's, you know, you just have to take care of everything. You feel like you got to be there all the time, no matter what. You got to take care of everything. So now I still get that feeling from time to time, but I just got to step back and say, it's good. We're good. Yeah. Everything's taken care of. I trust the people that are here when I'm not here, so I can kind of sit back, but I still have to remind myself of that. It's not so much like it is a controlling thing because, like you said, it's your baby, but it's not so much like I want everything done this way. It's more like I want to make sure everything's okay. But when you take a step back, take a breath, you can say, I trust who's there. I trust what's going here. We've built a way of things getting done around here. Even the people that come in, they know what's expected of them, you know, so they know what they're getting, and in return, they know what's expected of them. So even when I'm not here, I know shit's not just going awry just because I'm not here.
Yeah, that's one thing I would say about this place is that it built an identity quick. You know, like this place had an identity very fast. Like how many, this is what, your third year now? Fourth year? Third year. Third year being opened. I came back after my first year in pro ball in 17, or second year, and this was the first place I came to, and immediately when you walk in here, you knew where this gym was going to go. Like it's going to be a tight group of people like that are all here for one reason, and that's to like get stronger and have an environment that's comfortable for people to be outside of themselves, I guess. Because you go to like a gym with like random people, it's uncomfortable. I hate it. I don't like it. Like I never liked going to like the retros and Planet Fitnesses of the world. I don't know about you guys, but
I mean, even when new people walk in here, the people who have been here and have been accepted themselves immediately are already accepting of whoever's walking in the door.
Yeah.
And at the same time, if you're at a line, you can feel immediately that
like
you are not accepted here. So it's almost like you either got to kind of get in line, follow the way things get done, or you're going to be outed a little bit, you know, not ignorantly, but
you're not going to get kicked out because we need you, but
and
I get looked at weird.
I like the word that you said, that being comfortable here. Mm-hmm. Dude, I literally come here and I hang out for like hours on
yeah.
it.
I
Like,
actually
hard
didn't
to
pick
leave.
up a weight
It's hard
today.
to
say
leave
that.
it.
You sit down at this round table here,
Bro, it's hard.
you're sitting
Yo,
at this
listen.
round table.
It's
like,
so hard to get up.
This happened 2 days ago. I was supposed to be here for like an hour, get a quick lift in and bounce because I had stuff to do at home, right? I'm redoing the whole basement stuff. And I get here, I sit for an hour, then we work out, I think. Or did
Yeah,
we? Or
that
did
was,
we?
I think that was my.
We ate.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'll say this story after.
But did we work out first and then talk? Or I don't
No,
know.
no, no. We sat for a little. We ate. You haven't ate.
Oh, so we sat for 3 hours,
there?
then we worked out, and
Yeah,
then
you
we
were
sat
there.
for
Just ate.
another hour.
Oh, we
Yeah,
ate.
digested.
Yeah, I was here for like 3 hours.
Oh, side note, shout out King's Pizza. That's our that's the spot here.
They now know the phone numbers that order from this place and deliver in under 15 minutes.
It's insane. I swear to God, our food's already made. They already know what I'm going to order. It's made, and then it's there in like 10 minutes.
I'm
and
pretty
they,
sure they just throw it the minute the phone hangs up.
Yeah. And from every King's Pizza is
It's really
a
good.
hidden gem.
It is a
in
hidden
this
gem.
area.
It
And,
is.
But back to the kind of the thing we were talking about earlier here is kind of what Nars was saying. You kind of get here and you kind of get lost when you're here. You do whatever. It's like the other day I got in here. I was like, yeah, I'm going to get an early head start. I come in and I go out there. Kyle was actually, I think you were doing some errands. I think I passed you actually on my way here. And I get in here. I take some swings out in the cage. None of my my group's here yet. They're all busy. They're coming in at some point. Take some swings, get my workout in, sit down, and here comes Ryan Shin, another guy who couldn't make it tonight, but the guy we train with.
Good guy. Good guy.
He plays for the Mets, and
Bit of a sandbagger when it comes to hitting baseballs.
yeah, we'll get into that,
talk to that
later. But he comes in, he wants to do some hitting, so I'm out there feeding him. We get into it, come back in. Now I think I'm officially done, a little worn out, and then Ant calls me here, and
Here
he
we
tells
go.
me he's on his way.
Here we go.
And which on his way usually means anywhere from an hour to 3.5 hours.
I mean, I
So-
can't even imagine. I can't even fathom the stones of this man to say that.
So
I can't.
he comes in. I'm like, yeah, I'll wait for you after my my couple workouts. He comes in. We work out. We sit down. We're hungry. We order some food at this round
I
table.
was
We
famished.
eat a disgusting amount of food. We think we're done for the day, and then who walks in? Narciso Crook.
Yeah, he
Walks
put it-
in,
he put
and
it
he's
right in us.
full of energy, and he fires us up. And what do? We work out again. We head out back.
He
We get
zapped
some.
me.
We get some hitting in. We
You guys
talk
hit
baseball for a
the
while.
second
Yeah.
time that day?
Yeah,
Me third.
I thought
no,
that was the first time you
no.
hit that.
That was my first time. That was my first time.
You brought the energy in, and we just jumped.
I
on it.
remember you were like, man, I was working on some things, and I thought that was like days ago. That was a couple hours ago.
That was this morning.
Are you serious?
great.
It wasn't this morning.
No, I'm
The
saying
day
that
of.
morning.
Oh,
The day of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Oh,
We
man.
ordered food 20 minutes ago. Sam said it was $400. You go, was it really? Are you serious?
They just say $400 worth of gnocchis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
There's
point
about
is,
400 gnocchis in there.
the point is, this place is like a home, like a second
Yeah, it
home.
is.
I don't know, like, it brings a very home-like environment. Kyle does a good job of that. Obviously, Mike and you and Kyle are family, but it almost feels like we're all family in a way.
for
like,
sure.
Absolutely.
I come here, I feel like Kyle was like, yo, what you been doing? Like, come on, let's hang out, let's work out, like, let's do something. You know, like
It's more like
a,
let's hang out.
like a brother
Be my
would. You
friend.
know what I'm saying? Like,
Be my friend.
And by let's, I mean you. I'm going to
Yes.
go ahead and sit over here.
Okay, yeah, that's another thing. Kyle used to be like an absolute unit. He was a tank. Could lift a ceiling. And he owned this gym and has not picked up a weight since.
Let's stop that for a second because I'm willing to bet a good amount right
He's
now
absolutely stronger than us.
that
yes.
you would be outbenched by him
1,000%.
right now.
Yes,
this
100%.
second.
It's disgusting. I don't
Now
know.
Nars,
what
I
happened.
don't know. Nars has some type of weird, freaky strength that me and Ant kind of found out about
Yeah.
these past couple of years.
No,
working
Kyle's
out
still
with him,
stronger than
but
us.
Nars could go a couple of weeks without maybe lifting heavy. He walks in here and he could fire the not pictured machine over there and weights where you couldn't even.
Well, how about that one day when we were doing testing?
Oh,
and
yeah.
he walked in and I
Yeah.
said,
Oh yeah, he jumped through.
he
the
goes,
roof.
how you do this? And his lateral broad jumps, he had to jump out sideways laterally, but also rotate his body forward. So he gave it like 1 or 2. He's like, oh yeah, I get it. And it's still a record in this gym and the previous gyms that I've trained at. I think it was like 9.8 or 9.6 or something lateral, and completely defeated the young high school kids that were testing that day, which
Young
was
high school
really
kids.
funny.
I think
he
I
got
was.
No,
to
it was them.
Well, no, but they're
professional.
always defeated.
No, it was you were testing the pro guys.
It was me,
Oh,
Jake,
okay.
It was
Tommy,
all-
and Shin.
Tommy
No,
was
Shin
there.
wasn't there. Shin had his.
Oh, he was hip.
I wouldn't
ladies.
do it if it was high school kids because I'm not gonna sit here and like oh yeah like we're all on the same level though like pro guys we do pro guy we
Workouts,
compete we
yeah.
compete with us right.
sure.
In my mind, I really just want to see where I'm at with this because I'd never done this before. So I'm just like, you know what?
Yeah, me neither.
Which is also a pretty cool thing when you said like the pro guy things we do, which is another one of my favorite parts about this gym. Is there's a bunch of different types of athletes that walk through these
there's a
doors
lot.
here.
Yeah.
Whether it's
a lot.
bodybuilders, whether it's power lifters, it could be the same thing. Nobody, I mean, the one guy who walked through, some of these guys who walked through
The
this
Hulk.
door, the Hulk. Hopefully he doesn't see this, and I don't know if they're the same thing, but it's a place where everybody meets with the same common goal. Whether you're a high school player, I'm referring to baseball because we're kind of the baseball side of it. Whether you're a high school player, middle school player, younger than that, all age groups, it's a place where you can come in with no egos, no anything. We just kind of, it's all the same common goal. I mean, Narciso got more excited to see a kid, I think he was 11
Antonio.
or 12 years old, and he sees me.
Antonio.
And he was more excited to see him when he walked in.
Narcissus has never been that excited to see me ever.
Yo,
let's
you
talk
guys
about
are lying.
that.
You guys are lying. All right, hear me out. And if Antonio hears this, he'll know. I was hitting with Antonio the day before, right before that day, which was yesterday. And I recently just met Antonio, not too long ago, like this year. The thing is, every time I see him maybe once a week, right? And we've only hit like 4 or 5 times. I see you guys a lot, right?
Yeah.
And
Right.
You're tired of them. Yeah.
not
Yeah,
that
I
I'm
get
tired of. I'm a little bit tired of
Of me.
you guys being
He
late
pointed at
all
me
the time.
first.
Oh,
We're not
here we
answering
go.
the group text.
We're not
that
answering the
everybody's
group
in.
text.
I called Narciso. I can check right now.
No.
Should I read
Let's
Narcissus'
see.
text where it says,
The
I'm not
point
coming in
is-
today?
The point is, I want to make sure because I train with this kid and he's a great kid. I want to show, because I always speak about energy and talking about having a certain type of energy when you train, hit, practice, do things. Well, I just have a certain type of energy to myself into everything I do, period. And it's like if I'm, preaching to you like, hey, this is what I'm about, and you're just now getting to know me, I want to show you like, yo, this is truly me. This is actually how I am on a daily basis, not just when me and you are together, just
yeah.
kind of showing
Shooting
you
the
that
shit,
like, I'm just doing this because you're here type of stuff,
Well, I don't care how much energy you're bringing to the table. You ain't bringing Scotty Kelly energy.
No,
so.
we got to talk
That's
about
So
that
I was
guy.
legitimately going to bring that up
We gotta
right
talk
after
about
that
that
point.
guy.
Where the hell is Scotty?
I know. Dude,
I know he's
knows?
playing on the weekends, but we
playing
got to
on the
get him in here
weekends. I love
for a
that
round
guy,
table
man.
discussion when we
Listen.
get back.
He's
You
a
have to put
lightning
him
bolt.
in a suit,
Yeah.
lock him up, and drive
We
him
would
here.
have to put seatbelts on his chair.
He's a lightning bolt in a bottle, that guy. I mean, he is electric.
amazing.
I was going to say that because his energy is like undefeated, Scott Kelly. I don't know. He's not here, but he's...
Jose's going to have to be on the ball that day because that camera over there is going to be shuffling back and forth following him.
Uh-huh. Sometimes he gets so excited he actually has nothing to say. But then he'll just rattle it off right after that. He's the best, man.
I fed him a cappuccino or espresso
I
here
remember
one
that.
day.
Yep.
The boy was fired up. That machine over there, that stepper machine has never moved so fast ever. In his
So-
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say Scott Kelly is one of my dearest friends and an amazing person. One thing that you guys will know about Scott Kelly, I'm sure you guys have experienced it. If there's ever a scenario where you guys are in a time crunch and you have to go somewhere and you're going somewhere together, let's say, for example, to go work out, to go to the cage, and you have a time slot, don't bother bringing
Yeah.
Scott Kelly if he's talking to someone he just met or he's got a good story to tell.
Yeah, it's over.
Because it's literally over. He will literally. I remember yesterday, we were talking again. Not yesterday, sorry, the day before yesterday.
You were with
when
Scott?
I was. Yes, I was hitting with Antonio the day before.
Yeah, that's what he said. It was 2 days before he came in.
Yeah,
here.
when I was hitting with Antonio,
right,
me and
right.
Scotty were. So anyway, Antonio's dad, Dave, who was here yesterday.
Yeah, we met him yesterday.
Yeah, he brought his father to watch, the batting practice and stuff, which was cool. We typically go there from like 5:30 till it's dark out. To be honest, we hit for hours. So anyway, we're there hitting. We have a great hitting session. We hit some bombs. It was outside. It was great. Then we pick up the balls. By the time we pick up all the balls, it's dark. Like, it's literally dark, right? So then we come back, you go get all your stuff so you can pick them up, go to the car, say what's up, and you out. So Scott wanted to go ask Dave's father a question about back in his day. Forget it. The lights were turned on. It was 9 o'clock. We were done hitting by 8. It was 9 o'clock, and we were all just kind of just standing there waiting for Scott to be done. Scotty, if you're hearing this, I love you, but I had to go. I was like, yo, Scott,
Yeah.
I gotta go. But it's no harm. I mean, the guy, I love Scotty, man. I love Scotty. I can't talk how much, I can't describe how much I love this guy. He's just an amazing person.
I mean, a cool Scotty Kelly story I have, since we're on that topic, is actually it was a couple of years ago, and I had some time off, was home for a little bit. It's kind of short-lived, and then it's been great. No, I shouldn't say it's been great, but I've been able to be here more than I ever have for an extended period of time. But came back home and went to a Somerset Patriots game where Scotty Kelly is actually a Somerset Patriots legend.
Legend, trust me.
He's a legend,
fan
man.
favorite.
He's
But
a legend.
that's besides the point. For me to go check him out, I'm watching a game. 5th inning, 6th inning, a guy who works there comes out with a Somerset Patriots Scott Kelly bat.
Scott
Kelly
what?
sent me
A bat.
wood bats, because he knew I was, looking to do some training with wood bats, and he sent me up a couple bats right from the dugout. Still have them bats sitting in my house. That's just
Never
the
used
kind of
them.
guy Scott Kelly is. Hey, they were logs. I don't think Scott.
Can you imagine? Right from the dugout.
Yeah.
Never use them.
Mike's
No.
first day as a
I can
professional
just picture
baseball
Scotty
player.
Yeah.
in the dugout like this.
Yeah. It's exactly what he did.
Mike walked into his first day as a Mariner with a Scott Kelly bat in his hand.
True
That was
story.
the only thing he
Dude,
had.
I walked in with one bat, and it was a Scott Kelly Somerset
so-
Patriots bat.
It was.
So real quick, I just kind of want to talk about this because I never got to talk about this to anyone. I never got to hear anybody else's story. Let's talk about walking into your first pro day. Okay?
Oh, man.
So describe the first day.
Can we, since we got a little time here, I know Kyle's a little late on the, by the way, viewers here, 9:01.
Oh my God, it's 9:40.
Kyle wanted to be out of here. But
It's 9:40,
let's talk
Kyle.
about first day
Bedtime.
of college
Okay.
and then first day of pro ball.
Okay,
'Cause
cool.
I think we got some
All
some
right.
younger viewers, and we'll kind of
Yeah,
work our way up.
yeah.
So start,
I feel like it's going to be interesting because a lot of the viewers are going to these guys are going to go on to college and so many questions there and like the unknown, like what's it like. So like our first day there, and maybe a little summary after that of what our time there was like. For me, it was junior college, and then our first day in pro ball.
All three of us are junior college, by the way. That's crazy. I just
Well,
thought
somebody
of
went to
that. Well, after JUCO. After JUCO.
right.
You JUCO first. So
JUCO bandit.
JUCO,
yeah, I continue.
And then after, let's talk about our first day in pro ball, but let's go into depth, right? So like, I want to know, you get off the plane, who's picking you up, what are you thinking, like.
are we talking pro ball now or college?
Yeah, now this is pro ball.
Pro ball?
Terrifying.
Yeah, and then you go to the hotel, yes please. You go to the hotel, you go to
Yeah, please.
check in, and then see what it's like. Everything kind of just from there. So, Ed, I'll let you start. Your first day in college, like what
College
was
was
it
in,
like?
for me, and I think you guys will attest to this. College was a lot easier because we were going to a junior college, and as a junior college player, you have a pretty good idea of who's already on the team, and you know some people. because I mean I went to Mercer, you went to RCGC, you went to Northwest Florida State. Probably different for you, but it's it was an easier transition. I thought it was a lot of almost like picking up the pieces real quick with the school and the baseball. And when you go there at first, you think you have so much to prove. You have to do all these things. You have to impress these coaches, and you're worried about all other aspects. And sometimes just playing the game takes a little bit of a back burner. But after the first week, I know we had like 60 kids try out my freshman year at Mercer.
Mm-hmm.
It was pitchers and catchers, and I just remember my coach Kevin Kearns. Shout out Kevin Kearns if you're watching this, because you're the absolute man.
Great guy.
And I love you.
that guy.
I love you.
I
Like
love
you're the
that guy.
best. Please come on this. You should come on this podcast because you're the fucking man. But yeah, I remember him just ripping into people, and I was pretty used to that because of Steiner, where I went to high school, was very similar. But he was ripping guys. Like even guys that like weren't going to be there much longer, and he would just have at him. He didn't care. He really didn't care.
That's great.
But yeah, I think I got adjusted quickly to high school or to college. I love my experience.
What was it like, being on the field with all those guys at first? And like, did you ever think like, do I belong here? In college now, like, do I belong here?
In
like,
college, not
am
as
I gonna
much.
have to compete a lot to play here?
I think I was used to competition because of where I grew up, and I think you guys know that our towns are very, very competitive. Like every heist from Little League, Babe Ruth, Legion, travel. I mean, you were competing for a job and wanted to play every day, so that never left.
Well, that's different for me because in Trenton, we're trying to get more guys on the team.
Yeah, that is
So
different.
we're
for you.
trying to get more guys to play. We didn't have enough guys.
But even in because we all played Gallagher.
yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, high school, I think.
High school is different. I was
Was a little
talking
different.
Yeah. High school's different. So, Mike, for you, what was it like your first day in college, like your first meeting the team? Baseball specific, right? Because I'm curious as to like the guys who are playing, the guys who the high school guys that are trying out for these schools. What are they going to have to look at or look up to when these experiences that they're going to hear from
Yeah,
us?
no. So
Thank you.
just to start it off with
Your
us
tips in
saying
the
we
mail.
were all junior college guys. The talent level
Thank you, sir.
in college baseball, no matter what level it is, whether it's Division III, Division II, junior college, Division I, Power 5, whatever it is a huge step, which is your goal as an athlete, is to keep competing and moving up in a level. It's a huge step. So I kind of figured that going into it. I was never one of those where I get that in college, no matter what team, what level, usually your teammates were the best guys on their high school team, the best guys in their area. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
like everyone that's in the college team was the best player in high school.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you go in there with too much of an ego on your shoulder, as if you think it's going to be the same way, from experience, not saying I did that, but you play with guys here and there that might do that, and you're humbled pretty quick. And so I kind of went out, especially going further away from home. I went to junior college in Florida, which was Destin area. I don't know if anybody's familiar with it, but it's
Way out the panhandle.
Panhandle of Florida, and but it was definitely an experience for
It's a
me.
grind.
It's a grind,
Yeah.
but
Big grind.
going through my head, going away from home for the first time to a junior college, which it was a competitive junior college. I mean, there was.
What was it like the living situation going away from home? So like if I'm a high school player looking to go away from home, what's it like to have to move out away from home for the first time?
Yeah, I mean, it's always a little nerve-wracking at first. I mean, you're not
Well, I
used
do
to it.
remember talking to Uncle Scott. We were joking about being a little concerned about, if Mike runs out of shampoo,
Yeah.
is he just done for the semester, or is he going to go ahead and go get some more?
Do we need
Is he
conditioner?
going to
Yeah.
lather up the bar of soap and
Yeah.
use it in his hair? I
there's-
mean,
yeah.
what about toothpaste? What do we do about toothpaste?
It's
So I
there
do
was
remember
actually-
joking about that.
Yeah, there's an issue with that. I have one thing. When Mike came back from Northwest Florida State, he had a Southern accent. Do you remember that? Do you remember that? He
With
legitimately used to
Rob-
talk like this. He
It wasn't
literally said to me one time, he was talking like this, like you had a full Southern accent.
No.
Yes,
Ain't
he
nothing wrong
did.
with
False.
I
It
love
was
it.
not full.
You should bring it back.
If you met my roommate at Florida State, who I still talk to very
No,
frequently
not
to
Florida
this day,
State.
Ross Goforth, who Kyle Elder has met, great dude, one of my
Yeah.
best friends to this day.
Funny as shit.
Funny as hell. He's from
Trying to hunt
Georgia, the deep south of Georgia. The nicest family, nicest people. I'm still close with them. His accent, it'll catch on to you. A
Oh
little
yeah,
bit.
no, it happens. I was busting your balls, but yeah, it happens for
It
sure.
happens a little bit, but bottom line, with kind of back to what you were saying, yeah, it was nerve wracking, but you kind of figure it out, just like with baseball. You got to
Yeah.
figure it out, or
Did you have people help you when you were doing that?
oh yeah, I mean it's like you meet your guys everywhere. I mean I played against Narciso when I was a freshman. He was the biggest kid. Trenton High School was never the most talented
We weren't
baseball
good.
team. Not saying Ewing was. Not saying Ewing
We were
was,
talented, but we weren't good.
No, yeah, I shouldn't have said talented.
We
I
were
should have said-
talented, but we just didn't know how to win.
and neither was Ewing. We had some talent.
Yeah, you guys weren't good
here and
either.
there, but that's besides the point. But
Rough go round these last couple
yeah,
of
no.
years.
Yeah.
Narciso walked out, and he was the biggest guy on the team, and I remember playing him. And now here we are at a round table and talking. So my point to that is, wherever you go,
You're gonna meet
you're
guys.
gonna meet guys that are gonna be your guys, and you kind of fit in with a group if you're that kind of guy. And
Yeah.
I feel like all of us in this atmosphere that we have here, a lot of these guys are those kind of guys
Yeah,
that'll fit in and kind
for
of
sure.
get along with
Yeah, for
whoever.
sure.
So
For me, it was funny because like when I went to Rowan College at New Jersey. Now they changed the name. It was Gloucester Community College.
Yeah, it's
back
like RCGC.
Yeah.
RC.
There's RCBC and RCGC.
I call it GCC. That's what I knew.
it is
when-
known as GCC.
Yeah, when I went there. But for me, that's only like 45 minutes away from home, right? It's
Go
only like
Road
45
Runners.
minutes. Yeah,
Runners,
Road
baby.
Runners, baby. Let's go.
NC.
National champions.
RCGC.
Narcisco CC
Yes.
Crook. I
That's
they
right.
named the school after Crook.
NCC. Crook.
Hey, national champions. We
Mm-hmm.
won. We went 49-3 that
Yeah.
year.
You guys are usually good.
We were just good. The reason I went to that school was because I knew they had a lot of guys get drafted out of there, and I knew they won a lot of national championships.
Why didn't you go to Mercer? I always wondered that.
I wanted to get away from home.
Oh,
Shots
okay.
fired.
I always no, but it
Should have
was,
came
that's
to
a good
fucking
question.
Mercer.
That was aggressive.
That's a good
Yeah, I'm
question though,
pissed.
because a lot of
You
people
too. You
ask
should
me
have
that
came.
question.
Jerk.
A lot of people ask me that question, and like, why don't you want to go to Mercer? Which amazing program, by the way. You know, some of my
Roll
best
Vikes.
friends have gone to Mercer, and a lot of guys have ended up having pro careers from Mercer, which is amazing. And it's right next
Heath
to home.
Philmeyer,
Yeah.
one of our good buddies.
That's our dog, man. That's my
So
dog.
I was considering going to Mercer. My biggest thing though is I wanted to get a college experience where I left home.
Yeah.
And I think
feel
that's
that.
one of the things that a lot of guys look at too,
Yeah.
you know, like going to school. I wanted to get away from home. I just didn't want to go so far away. But I didn't want to be so close where it felt like
Yeah.
I was living at home.
Oh, yeah.
So
Did you
Yeah.
stay there?
yeah, so I lived at Gloucester.
And
So
then this is another thing that I will be backpacking. I will be taking Ant on my back
Don't listen
this
to this.
fall, and I will be personally giving him his first
Yeah, I know.
college
This is my
experience.
first college experience.
So-
I've never gone. I know.
and
I'm
it's
very excited.
you miss out on it. Like
Yeah,
you
I'm
really do.
excited,
Like
man.
it's something you could say you had, right? So like that's
Yeah.
what I kind of want to talk about. You know, college experience, guys that are kind of wondering what's it like. Like for me, I go into this team. I don't know anyone, right? And now that's the first time, and I'm glad I had it because it set me up for pro ball. This is the first time I had to move in with guys that I didn't know anything of. I never met, right? A bunch of guys that are there to do the same thing I am.
Yeah.
And we're there for one reason, which is to play baseball and then go to school, which is it's an amazing experience. But again, for me, I was 17 years old at the time. I graduated high school really early.
Yeah.
I was really young.
Baby
He
Crook.
did not look like it.
No.
A lot of guys are going to be 18, 19 years old. They never done this before, right? So like, I was young. I didn't know what really to do. So my family was the one who really like helped me out, and they helped me pay for my apartment because I honestly wasn't making any money at that time. I wasn't working. They helped me with all the setting my stuff up, setting my classes up, and then I remember like classes started and practice started, and I remember like, dude, like in the winter or was it the fall? I can't remember. It was like 5 a.m. workouts, dude.
Oh,
That's
yeah?
real,
Yeah, it's crazy, dude.
bro.
It was like a myth in college.
you
Bro,
cannot-
it was always
Or
a
in high
myth.
school. In high
Hey,
school. In high school.
Yeah.
if you're not a morning person, you
Ooh,
better get
you
used to
better
it. If you
be.
have goals to be a
Yeah.
Bro,
college
that
baseball
is
player.
real. That shit is real.
Yeah, that
I
is
remember
real.
like thinking like, oh, they're probably not that bad. People make them out to be worse than they actually are. Bro, we get there. You get there at 5. It's not wake up at 5. It's you get there at 5 a.m.
Oh yeah, terrible.
I remember the hardest thing I had to deal with that was I didn't have enough time to eat breakfast because I'd wake up at
You're not even hungry. at that point.
4:50.
Yeah.
So it's 10 minutes to get to the school. You
Yeah.
literally time it out because you want to sleep as much as you can. You time it out. I wake up at 4:50. 10 minutes to go to the school. I had to catch a ride with somebody, which was something that also annoyed me. I had to catch a ride every single day. I had to catch a ride to the school, and then 5 o'clock we're in the gym running.
Yeah,
Funny.
that's terrible.
Funny story on that. At Florida
I'll be
State.
back, guys.
At Florida State, we same
Alright.
thing. We had morning workouts, and excuse Narciso.
He's
kinda
gotta pee.
throwing a,
I'll be back.
He's gotta pee. We're gonna hear him pee.
But
Nice stream already, Nars.
I gotta pee, man. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
Whistle
yeah,
while
what's
you
the
work.
weather?
Nars,
man?
I'm next. Can we still hear us?
Oh, I know Mike's gotta pee. He's gotta pee every 20 minutes.
But so anyway, with back what I was saying with the morning workouts, Florida State, we did them, and it's kind of a transition period where actually our strength coach at Florida State was having a baby, and he was gone for a couple weeks. So who do they give us as the strength coach? Which, God love her, the great person, like she was the best, but she was the soccer actually strength coach. And in soccer, it's a lot of running, it's a lot of conditioning. So first day our coach tells us, yeah, we're gonna have another strength coach kind of work with you guys, this and that, in the morning. We usually, our strength coach was a little nicer to us. We wouldn't get up as early as we did in junior college, so get
Great
up a little
staff
later.
out there. I really
Yeah.
like the staff. It was great.
So
Great stuff.
we got up a little later, and day one of him gone, we have the soccer strength coach. It is a 5:45 arrival,
Hardo Jones.
6 o'clock, and it is a full-on run that you could not even think for almost a full hour of just
Back.
wrecking the entire team. And we hated her, not because of who she was, because of what she did. But afterwards, we got better. We had good conditioning, and in the end, it was all good. But it was just funny because of just the different kind of things you run throughout college.
It's
You know
tough,
what I mean?
man. It's really,
What
it's really tough.
Yeah, I do. I was excited to go into the pro ball one because that one was scary.
The pro ball was scary.
Like your first day.
Okay, talk
Let's-
to us about that.
I was all right. I'll go first. But I thought the pro ball for me, and I think it's because I didn't live away from home. You know, like you guys all left.
It's something definitely new for
Oh,
you.
I was terrified. I've never flown alone before. I haven't flown. When I left home in 2017, I haven't been on a flight in close to like 10, 12 years, let alone like fly by myself. I had a connecting flight in Atlanta, so I had to navigate one of the
Did you
bigger
get lost?
No, I actually didn't, but it went really well. And there was like that's one of the biggest airports in the country. Like it was huge, and I took like a subway in an airport to get to my gate. It was crazy. But yeah, it was really crazy. I think the hardest part was everything other than baseball. You know what I'm saying? Like living on your own.
Yeah. The baseball's the easy thing to do.
Yeah, I always thought that. Yeah. And then like you get there and it's like, you don't know any of these kids. Like, everyone's coming from all over the country, even like
Not to
come
mention
from
the
Latin
fact
America. It's a crazy scene.
Not to
man.
mention the fact that you're talking about like guys that are, top prospects in the
Yeah.
world, top, in the United States. You're talking about guys coming from different countries. You're talking about guys that don't even speak English. You're
Dude.
talking about people who have millions of dollars who might be looking to invest in you. That's
Yeah, it's
something that
crazy.
might also you think about.
So my first day, I roll into the hotel in West Palm, and it's crazy. you could see there's like some kids in the lobby that you know that played baseball, and you're like, they're probably with the Nationals. Like they're probably gonna see them tomorrow on the field. And I check in, I walk in the elevator, and I open the elevator, and the first person I ever met was Soto. He opens the door. He goes, "Oh, you just get drafted?" I was like, "Yeah, man. I just got drafted."
And you're talking about Juan Soto.
Juan
right?
Soto, yeah. And he was one of the nicest kids I've really met when I was there. He was rehabbing too at the time, and he was really great. It was cool. It's just a cool story to tell now because he's an absolute stud. So, but yeah, it was crazy, man. You feel like when you get in there, and like they're just slinging all this information. Like the paperwork. You got
a lot of paperwork.
Dude, first day of paperwork was crazy.
You don't get on the field.
I know. It's like spring training. You don't even get on the field the first day. And you're signing you're getting life insurance and health insurance. I'm 19 years old. I'm like, I don't even know what that is.
It's a lot to handle at that age.
I didn't even know what Blue Cross Blue Shield was.
Yeah.
No idea.
Mike, what about you, man? What about your first day?
I know, Mike.
Getting on the plane, that morning you're flying out to start your professional baseball
and you're not
career.
going to be sleeping at home.
It was actually pretty different for me coming from.
Yeah, you have a way different story.
So I actually got drafted while I was still playing at Florida State, and we were in
the World Series,
I believe
right?
it was. I got drafted when we were in right before we went to LSU, which is super regional.
You were at Florida State.
Yeah, I got drafted right after the regional, a couple days before going to super regional. But anyway, I got drafted there. We played at LSU. We ended up beating LSU to go to the College World Series, which was, by the way, if we have time, we'll get into that maybe another time or later today. But craziest experience. But so right from there, we get knocked out of the College World Series. 2 days later, I am on a flight to Arizona, which I've never been on the West Coast. Flight to Arizona, and beautiful. Love Arizona. Me and Nars met up a couple times.
Everybody
in spring
says
training,
that, man.
But,
Arizona's great.
Yeah, get out there. For me, it was a little different because everybody was already out there affiliates. It was later in the season, so I signed my contract.
With his Scott Kelly bat in hand.
With my Scott Kelly Somerset Patriots bat in my hand. That's all I brought. I didn't even bring clothes. I just brought my bat.
Just his bat. The old time things was like a sack and a stick.
I still don't carry a bat.
He had a Scott
Ask
Kelly.
any of my guys.
Yeah, he
I
doesn't.
put my glove on my bat.
He's actually a weirdo.
And I just walk anywhere I go with I don't like bags.
You're a weirdo.
I'm weird.
He's really weird, dude.
And
weirdo.
So were you nervous?
Oh yeah, I
going
was definitely nervous.
Going from college World Series caliber type of team atmosphere to professional baseball. That's the highest level before you can get into pro ball, right?
And you guys know, very different.
So
very different styles of baseball.
Oh my God.
College ball, pro ball. We can get into that, but I shouldn't say different.
The same
style.
baseball.
Same baseball, but different.
The styles are different.
It's professional.
It's almost something that if you experience it, you get it. We could probably try to dissect it, but
it's impossible.
You
have to be there to
it's a little different, but I was definitely coming off of a really good year.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of in my head thinking I'm picking right up where I started.
Yep.
I'm gonna just go right into pro ball. I'm gonna rake, and I started off pretty slow, and it was an adjustment, and it's.
Did you get discouraged?
I wouldn't say discouraged, but I definitely was ready to get to work some more. And
did you think oh man, maybe pro ball is harder than what I thought it was, or no?
It wasn't really that because
it wasn't that
the competition I saw was. Playing at Florida State, I was still facing guys that were pretty. Some of the best baseball players in the country.
Most of those guys that you face are in pro ball
exactly.
right now. Yeah.
So it wasn't the competition level, but it was more of the routine. I had to find a routine, which is something in college they kind of. I don't want to say give you a routine, but your lift is at 8 a.m. Your breakfast is there.
It's kind of scheduled
wherever you go. It's different, but my personal experience was they schedule it kind of for you. In pro ball, we actually talked about this yesterday after hitting, is you have to find your routine and what works for you. Mm-hmm. And that's something being rushed into from college ball. I struggled with a little bit, having a lot of time. Like you'd wake up, you have a lot of hours at the baseball.
Kind of have
field.
to do things on your own
You have to
because
do
now you
things
don't
on
have to
your
do
own.
any classes
Yeah,
either.
no classes. You have a lot of time on your hand, and I shouldn't say struggle. That's not the word, but I didn't have a set
You didn't learn to adjust. You
routine and
didn't
an
adjust quickly.
idea. Exactly.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even the baseball part of it, but the prep, the mental prep,
Yeah.
Which is something now, this off season after experiencing it, I worked on, and I had a pretty good spring training, and I was excited for this year that unfortunately we
This was
missed
the
out
most
on, but
excited I was for a year in my life.
I know, it's crazy.
because
Even
of
like
full
the-
depth gym, what we did. in
That's
this
right,
place.
baby, because full depth performance.
Full depth.
It's funny because both of you.
He wasn't this fat.
I swear.
I'm just kidding.
Hey,
Mike
That
has
was a total
He's got a guzzler.
so hear me out. It's funny because both of you said something very similar, that like you weren't nervous or like necessarily worried about the baseball part of things during your first like few pro day, like first few pro days. Like, you know, you're not really worried about the baseball part of the things, right? Like everything else, it was kind of hard. So like, I feel the same. Like, this is my story. Like my first day, you know, I was still 17 years old when I flew out to Arizona. So I got drafted. I was drafted in the 23rd round, and that to me wasn't like good in my mind. You know, like to me, I'm like, man, that's a late pick. You know, like I feel like I'm better than that. And in my mind, I was still a freshman.
You were only a Gloucester for 1 year.
Yeah, I was still a freshman.
Yeah.
I was still a freshman, and I was still 17 years old. So in my mind, I'm like, man, I'm so young still. I'm still a freshman. I can go back to school and play another year, maybe get drafted lower next year, and this and that. So a lot of that played into my decision to sign. So because of that, I waited until basically almost the deadline, which if you guys don't know, there is a deadline to sign a professional
I
contract.
took it in high school.
It's a
I took
month
it as
after you.
headline.
It's a month
Yes.
after you get drafted.
It's like a month and a half,
Yeah.
somewhere around there.
I know a lot of people milk that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I did, but not because of me wanting to get more money or
money,
anything.
right.
I just wasn't sure if I wanted to sign or not because I didn't think it was. I wasn't sure if it was the best decision for me
Yeah,
at the
100%,
time.
100%.
So anyway, towards the end, I decided to sign. I was like, you know what, I'm ready. Like, my biggest fear was that I was a late pick and that when I would get there, guys would be much more better than me because 22 guys were drafted in front of me.
Yeah, there's
so
22
by default, those 22 guys were better than me. And this is not how it works.
No, not even a little
Right?
bit. No.
So like I thought that in my mind. So anyway, I get there and you know I decide to sign finally, and I get there. I flew in, so like I was very used to flying in by myself because growing up, my mom lived in the United States, my dad lived in the Dominican Republic. We flew back and forth.
Yeah.
Me and my sisters, so like we did that often. So I flew to Arizona. Never been on the West Coast either. That's different, dude. Like people, and it's cool. The pro life, it's cool because you get to travel different sides of like the United States
yeah,
Oh, I've
for
seen
and
places.
meet different people and like meet different like cultures, right? Of
Yeah.
like different sides of the U.S. Like how people do things. West Coast is different, man. I love the West Coast, right? It's just
sure.
it's a little bit different than what you're
In-N-Out
used
Burger. What are your thoughts?
to. I love it. I love In-N-Out. I don't think it's better than Chick-fil-A.
I've been
People
there.
say it is. I don't think so. It's my
In-N-Out's
thoughts.
really good.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Keep going with your story.
My thing is, right, I get to Arizona because I waited to the deadline. My date of arrival was right around July, right?
It's late.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
it's
it's late.
pretty late. So mid-July, like right around there. Also keep in mind that's like midsummer.
Yeah.
That's the hottest time in
It's
Arizona.
hot as hell out there.
Bro, that year specifically, it got up to 120 degrees. It was
Haven't
literally
experienced that yet.
that was hot. So anyway, I get there and I fly in. They pick me up at the airport. I don't know who, like, what to say. This guy pulls in, and he's in a big ass
shuttle?
like no.
The
So
shuttle?
he picks people up in a big ass truck that has a Cincinnati Reds logo, so you don't miss it.
Oh, shit.
That's cool. Man.
That's
you
actually
don't
really funny.
you don't miss it. So like.
We
He
should do
picks me
that.
up in this big ass Cincinnati Reds logo. I'm like, that's got to be my ride. So I get in the car, I talk to him. His name was Charlie. So I said, Charlie, what's up, man? I talked to him, whatever. It's about a 30-minute ride to the field. We get to the hotel.
Uh-huh.
It's about a 30-minute ride. And he's like, all right, go to your room tomorrow, be downstairs by 7 o'clock or whatever. That's all I got, right? Literally, I get in the lobby, and this, you guys are gonna laugh at this. I get in the lobby, mind you, this is where the whole team stays, right? I don't know this at the time. I get in the lobby, I'm like, my name's Narciso Crook, I play for the Cincinnati Reds. And
Did
I'm
you
You
say
said
it like
that to the
that?
guy.
yeah, I'm like,
Did you say it just like
To the
that? Like
desk.
Yeah.
stuttered and stuff?
The
dude?
girl that works at the desk. You said that. Sick bastard.
bro, I'm like, I play for
Sick
Cincinnati
bastard.
Reds. And I'm like, so cool, right?
Yeah.
She's like, mind you, like the people that work in these, like
They know.
they know
They
and they're
know.
tired of you.
Everybody knows who you are.
Oh,
They know and they're tired of you. So anyway, she looked at me like this. Okay.
Yeah, bro.
That was not the reaction I was expecting from my first time that I
Yeah.
busted out the,
yeah.
The line.
yeah, right?
The
Like,
line, man.
that was not the first, like, the impression I had. Anyway, she gives me this stank face and she's like, this is your room key. Go to your room. So I go to my
Get
room.
the fuck out of my
Go to your
face.
Don't come out for a while either.
I still try to use that on my girlfriend. I play professional baseball.
Never
She
worked.
says the same
It
thing. Go to
doesn't
your
work.
room, Michael.
So anyway, I
Down,
get to
Michael.
my room,
No.
And I have a roommate, and that's weird because, like, I had a roommate in college, but like, I had 3 roommates in college, not just one. So that was like a little bit different. He's from Texas. I get to know him. He's like, yeah, what's up, dude? Get to meet him. Cool. Let's go get some food later. We go get some food. We get to know each other. We go to the field the next day. Other than my roommate, I haven't met anyone else. I go downstairs. Oh, by the way, I also traveled in basketball shorts because I thought that was acceptable.
See, that's crazy.
That's another thing. I traveled in basketball shorts and like not a tank top, but like a t-shirt, like a very loose
A
t-shirt.
Reds t-shirt? No, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
and I was like trying to be comfortable because pro athletes they fly comfortably.
Yeah. Not us.
Don't do it. Don't do it. I got yelled at my first day. Anyway, I get to the field the next day, and I remember because I was so late, the season had already started. So they already had everyone shipped out to their teams.
Yeah, you already had the AZO.
Everybody had, the AZL had started,
Yeah.
and I was in no man's land, right? I was this new kid that nobody knew. The whole team was already kind of meshing together while this new guy just kind of dumped in. And I remember like knowing anyone, I did all the paperwork stuff that day. And because of my last name, everybody also thought that I was American. But I'm from the Dominican Republic, so people didn't know that. Nobody knew that. And this is still a thing today. So anyway, I'm sitting in my locker, and this is one of the funniest stories. And I'm sitting in my locker, and this guy comes in after BP. He's the first one in the locker room. He's from the DR. He's fresh out of the DR. He doesn't speak no English, right? He sees my name in my locker, last name Crook. He's like, oh, this guy's a new draft guy. He's American. With the littlest English you would ever hear, he said to me, he looked at him, he's like, how you doing? My name is Funda. But not like that, obviously, with a heavy accent. Like, I barely could understand what he said. And Funda, by the way, means bag. They call him the bag because he always got the bag on him. That's what they say. Anyway, I looked at him and I responded to him back in Spanish. And he went,
Probably rocked his world.
He went wild.
Yeah.
It was amazing. And it was cool because I was like, oh man, like, I felt right away that I had some Spanish people and American people in the same team, and I never had that before.
Yeah.
That was cool. Like, other than in high school, not in college.
And side note, Full Depth does just about anything you can ask for, but I want to learn more of the Spanish language. And I want Narciso Crook
Habla
to
conmigo, mi
teach
hermano,
Spanish
mira.
classes.
Sí,
Si
vamos,
tú quieres, yo te
vamos.
enseño español cuando tú quieras. Si tú quieres, yo puedo seguir hablando
Sí.
español la noche entera.
Sí.
Online full depth classes.
No
Yes.
chance.
Ran
Yeah,
by
virtual.
Jose and Narcissus.
$50 an hour,
Yeah,
Jose.
Jose.
$50 an hour, Jose. What you say?
Ven acá, Jose, ven acá.
Hey, I got something here that'll throw a little curveball at everybody. We're talking about us here. Let's
okay.
hear
¿Qué es lo
this
que tú
first
dices?
day of college experience.
Oof.
Coastal Carolina.
Oh,
Yeah, I
you
was
have
gonna
to
bring
give me
him
a
up.
minute.
I was gonna
Let's-
bring him
Let's
time
let him
ago.
think back.
traveling back.
There was
to
a first
memory
day.
lane.
That you showed up on campus.
Our sensei was very good at baseball at one time. and probably still
He's
is.
He's still
good.
better
He
than
says
us.
he's not.
I
He
know.
says he's not. But
I
he's
can't
still
gas
good.
him up too much though, because
Long,
he actually.
long time ago. I took swings with you guys the other day. My mid back was sore for 3
Hey,
days.
hey, fun fact.
Same.
Every time he swings, a day later, he will complain about his back.
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah.
Every single time.
But he won't. The swing you can't tell.
No.
No.
I've been hitting with him. He used to pick me up from high school, Ewing High School. We both went there. He used to pick me up. We'd go work out. We'd go hit. I've been chasing the same swing he's had
You can't.
since sophomore year
You
of high
can't
school.
replace.
He
that.
came back this summer and we were hitting in the cage and he said, they showed me to do this. And I said, yeah. And he goes, and then you almost see the light turn on in his head. He said, that's what you were trying to get me to do. I said, yeah. And I
Yeah.
said, okay, good.
Yeah.
I said, you need to tell me what they got you to understand then, because that's exactly what we've been trying to do for the last 8 year, 10 year, whatever it
Right,
is.
but we don't
Yeah.
speak the way we're speaking now. With me and him, he will tell me, like I said, we've been training for forever. I mean, even you guys, but me and
Yeah.
him, he used to, like I said, whatever. But we speak in, he will tell me the type of thing he wants me to do with my swing in 150 different ways. Not the different type of swing, but the way he brings it across, just so it'll click in my head.
Yeah,
Meaning
Kyle's good at that.
He
I know
is
what you're saying.
the same result he wants,
Yeah.
but he can deliver it in every single type of way that
Yeah.
you wouldn't even imagine until something goes off in your head and you're like, why didn't you tell me that in the first place? And he's like,
I've been
That's
trying.
right.
That's what I've been saying.
Yeah.
yeah.
But we got better at that over the years because all you guys would come home, and whoever it was, obviously usually Mike, he'd come home and immediately we get to work, and we'd have like a day and a half. And he's like, I
He's
need to
gotta
hit as
leave.
much as possible. I'm like, all right, well, I got this time. But we would get in, and I'm like, all right, we just got to make this work as soon as possible.
Yeah.
And we would hit for 45 minutes, and I'm like, do this.
Yeah.
Do this. And like Mike said, it wasn't a different thing. It was just a different way of possibly understanding it.
Yeah, that-
Maybe a different
exactly.
drill, whatever, but it's all the same thing. So when he said, this makes a lot of sense to me, what they're asking me to do, well, I need to know that, because if that's making it click so well, that's going to work
Yeah.
for somebody
So-
else.
It's gonna work something
So,
else.
so real quick, Kyle, and talk about this if you can. A little bit about the coaching side of things, because from what it sounds like, it's like you've been coaching, not just since you had the batting cage here at full depth, but like since you've been training with Mike. And how important is it, that feedback, like when he does understand something, or when he like finally got something, and like that conversation that has to happen? Because I feel like a lot of kids nowadays, or not, I shouldn't say nowadays, but a lot of kids, period, in that age, like like high school, maybe a little bit younger, are just sometimes afraid to engage in conversation, or afraid to ask questions because they feel like they're gonna look dumb or silly, or just whatever the case is. How important is it to you as a coach to have that conversation, like be fluent?
It takes some time to build that relationship, because like you said, I think a lot of the coaches and trainers and everything nowadays are a lot of one direction conversations. So it's, you do this, you do that,
Yeah.
now do this, now do that. And when you ask a kid, what'd you do there, or what'd you feel, they're almost immediately looking to give you the right direction.
Is it always like that, or good, or yes?
Well, right off the bat, it's always good, but they're always looking to give you the right answer. Like
Yeah.
they're looking to almost guess
Please
at
do.
what you want them to say.
Yeah.
Like I say, how did that feel? Was that good, better, or worse, or the same? Whatever. And they'll say better. I'm like, don't just say better because you think
Yeah.
I need to know what
that's
it
what I
is.
wanna
So
hear.
It takes a relationship. You got to build a relationship, and absolutely.
And that's goes back to I know you remember, but my junior college, we were talking about it earlier, I would text him from time to time, and throughout the season, I know it's tough to, during the season, your mind's going and this and that, but I would text him whenever I needed to just kind of get back to what we've been working on. And he actually came down to my junior college, and we went into the batting cage. And actually, the guy we were talking about earlier, my roommate, who's a big ass kid, strong kid.
I can't believe how quick his bat was.
Yeah, we talked. And I can tell you one thing. My roommate, who was kind of, and he'll tell you to this day, he was kind of losing his passion for baseball. Big talent. He had a lot of injuries, a lot of shoulder injuries. He had actually 3 or 4 labrum surgeries, but he was kind of losing his. He worked with me and Kyle that one night in the cage, and he was like, I love this. Like, Kyle, because you know how it is. He's not the kind of guy, like you said, that's going to push this shit on you.
Yeah.
And do that kind of thing.
He
lets you find it. He lets you find it.
Well, that's how
way.
it should be, because you're going to be your own coach anyway. So at one point, you need to figure it out, right?
Yeah,
I tell them all the time, we're building your swing. So,
Yeah.
there's some things I need you to do. But if it's not comfortable or you don't like where this is going, although I need these certain things done, it's still we're building your swing. So you needed to have as much input on it as me.
But I will say, Ross fucking raked.
He's probably hitting barrels.
Those next, do you remember that?
Yeah.
He's a big ass kid. He was hitting balls further than I've ever seen, and he would literally, like, he was mind blown because like I said, he's from in Georgia, where it's a little, not, I wouldn't say different, but it was like he was country strong, man. They just hit BP. They just hit. Like, when he actually, you know what I mean? He clicked with Kyle. Something Kyle said kind of clicked with him. And it'd be the same thing when I'd be hitting with my teammates, even at Florida State. Like, I would say something that me and him would talk about.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, God, like that.
That makes sense.
What was the one thing I told you? I was hitting with Mendoza.
I do remember, yeah. You know what's funny, though, is I'll get messages once in a while from Mike. The one that sticks out of my head immediately is, I'm out in March. I just got to get out of the house or out of the gym. This was open. And I get a text message from Jake Alou. And it's just a video of his swing. But it's all fuzzy because I got an Android and he's got an Apple.
Send it to Sam.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, send it to Sam. Absolutely.
That's
That's step number one. If you guys send me a video of your swing, send it to Sam, and then I'll get it later.
You have to contact Kyle. Just text Sam.
But, absolutely. But I'm in the woods looking for deer antlers just to get out of the house.
Now we're talking my language.
And I'm talking to, he's like, this and that, we're talking. He's like, well, can you look at my swing? So I'm standing in the middle of the woods in the middle of March. It's cold out. I'm just wandering. And I'm talking to Jake, and then I'm watching these fuzzy videos. And then I'm talking to Jake, and basically I ended up saying, like, we're giving a over-the-phone video message hitting lesson.
You were
right now.
before. You're ahead of the
Well,
times, man.
just think more that I couldn't really see anything. I mean, it was all fuzzy, but I was just talking him through what his swing was and said it the same way a couple times. Who knows? He might have continued to do bad after that, but those kind of things all the time. Like, he'll send me a message, or I'll be yelling at the TV in here sometimes, and I refuse to ever call somebody and try to judge them on what I'm seeing on the TV.
Yeah.
I refuse to do so. That's just not correct. It's not professional. But I'd be watching anybody play. I mean, I never really got to watch you
we didn't have that much.
I never even tried to get. I don't even know how to do that back then. But but last year we had
maybe one game.
I got what was it that
MILB.
I had everybody up. No, I couldn't get any kid to work out in here.
That's great. That's good coaching, though.
Because once they knew there was somebody who worked out in here,
They all stopped.
they were watching.
That's sick.
And then
Did I get any hits when they were
This
watching?
is one thing. This gym, you don't realize, we got some secret guys in here.
Yeah, we got some
Studs.
dogs in here.
We
man.
got some studs in
Studs.
here that we're gonna get out there soon.
Yeah,
to you
they're
guys.
good. I'm excited.
Yeah, we
for
got some
these guys.
dogs, man.
Because we're gonna get them out there because there's
You know what's
some,
cool? Sorry, go ahead. Keep going.
No.
I was gonna say, you know what's cool? That like none of us in here are like have that like ego, like, I'm a pro guy.
None of us.
This and that, whatever. Like, you bring a kid around us, like this high school kid or like middle school guy, young guy, like they want to work. We'll get in the cage with them. We don't have a problem, right? And we'll give them our 2 cents of what we think, right? And then it's like, you can go on with your day. You know how much I would pay to have that when I was when I was coming up?
We had Kyle's camp in the wintertime. You had those Princeton kids in there. We just all mixed in and hit together, and then you were there.
And
then we hit after, and it was good. It was really knowledgeable.
Walk into the gym. into the
Yeah.
front doors, come right through.
Yeah.
Look on the walls if you haven't been here. Look on the walls
All the
and
hats.
see the hats.
Yeah.
It's not pro hats. It's not my signature. It's not Narciso's signature.
It's everybody's
It's
hats.
everybody's hats from middle school to travel ball to high school to college to pro. It's everybody who trains here. It's
And that
not
just shows you, like, we're all one family. Like, and that's what I love about baseball, dude. Like, anybody who plays it will tell you. Like, it just feels like a home environment. I have a funny story, but like, I'll say this first. We're all in here for the same reasons. It's not like I want to be better than you. I want to be better than you. You want to be better. We all are trying to be great, right? And like Kyle knows too. Like, it's like, I'm not gonna make you better than him. I'm not gonna make you better. I'm gonna make you great, right? I'm gonna elevate you as a person. And we're all a family here. Like, we all believe the same things. Like, dude, I might have told you guys, like, I was in Ohio this past week, and I met this guy at the gym, and he's with the Twins, and I noticed, and I was like, yo, you play well with the Twins? He was like, yeah, and I was like, oh, I play with the Reds. Next thing you know, that day we were hitting the cage. Like, I didn't know the guy, right? But I needed to hit. He was available. He had a cage. We met. Cool, let's go hit. Like, it's just like that. It's a family. It's an environment. It's a mood. I love it. I mean, and the fact that also, like I said, we're here. We're willing to like work with these guys. Like, anybody who comes up, like, you're not gonna tell me that a kid's gonna come up to us in this gym and ask us a question, and we're gonna be like, nah, I don't want to.
I'm
Like,
too
it will
busy
never
right
happen.
now.
We
No.
get challenged by some
Exactly.
of these guys.
We love it,
That's true.
Yo,
Yeah.
Kenny Shermer wants to face me for 3 years now.
dude.
Yeah, we bullshit. We talk shit to each other.
I'll hit a homer
Yeah.
so quick off of them.
Oh yeah.
Nah,
So
nah,
tell him,
Anybody
slop
in
it up,
full
buddy.
depth?
Let's go.
Let's get it firing up this winter.
let's go,
Yeah.
man. Who
And we'll
wants it?
crank you guys.
I don't care if you're
Yeah,
12.
big things coming in the future.
Yes.
You could be 11. Bring it on, bitch.
in a nice
Discard
way,
that.
you little bitch.
Discard that too. No, but seriously, like, we're like, I love the fact that we're here as a group of guys, not like separated or divided, right? Like, it doesn't feel like that. It doesn't feel like, oh, you got the pro guys over here, you got the high school guys over here, you got the middle schools over here. It doesn't feel like a division. It doesn't feel like, we're gonna work these guys differently. And it's not, because I come here and I see some guys doing the same thing I was doing, or more of the stuff that I was doing, and they're in middle school.
Mike looks like a middle schooler. He does. I walk in sometimes, get a couple high schoolers in there, and then, it's Mike. Mike, get the 25s off the
Yeah, we got big things coming out of some of the athletes. We have big things coming for the gym itself. There's a lot of good things on the horizon.
Yeah.
I like the direction things are going.
Kyle,
I'm pumped.
what do
I'm
you-
pumped.
With everything. Even, again, we're going to shout out Jose. Big things coming in the production part. I don't know if you've seen it,
Full depth.
but there was a
production.
video of a couple of me and Ant and a couple of my other buddies
Thanks
training.
for the invite.
He made them
And,
look really good.
Yeah, we looked way better than we did. Jose,
They cut off.
shout
Mike's
out to Jose.
Thanks for the
buzzer
invite.
in that
And
thing.
I don't know how you Photoshop video, but he did a fantastic job.
Yeah, he did. You cut Mike's like other half of his chin off. I don't know how you did that. That's crazy. It's back
Yeah.
now. You guys can see it
yeah,
if you
skinny
want.
fat.
Yeah,
Thanks
I
for
know.
Keep it going.
Skinny
invite.
and fat. No, so you were there.
When?
You were in Ohio. I mean, that's
Yeah,
what I'm
you
saying.
weren't here.
No, I was here
What do you mean? That was like 4 days ago.
I know, but you got back when?
7 days ago.
Oh, okay.
You didn't text us.
Yeah, I don't like you, so I didn't
yeah,
text.
you guys
Nah,
don't text
he-
back.
What day was that? Saturday, you walked in out of the blue, right? That
Yeah.
was
Hey,
Saturday.
you didn't know. You called me.
Saturday.
With a bottle
Friday.
of Johnny Walker Black. Thank you very much.
That's
He
it.
asked
Yeah.
us what you
He
like.
asked us.
Yeah, that was Saturday. That was Friday.
That was
And we
Friday.
said you were going to come in Saturday, and we came in Saturday.
No,
You
we
never-
did the
weren't
video
here.
on
You weren't
Friday.
here.
No,
you
never
were in the
called
river.
me.
You were in Delaware.
No, I was in here Saturday.
Mike was crushing tubes floating down the Delaware.
No,
Yes,
I
you
was
were.
here.
No, you weren't.
I don't think so. He was here.
No, I was here earlier.
He was here for 3 hours.
Yeah,
No,
I was here.
you
Bust
blowing me
up.
off.
Where's that Johnny
Before.
Walker at, though,
It's
actually?
here.
It's cracked. Tell you that much.
Hey,
It's been open.
It's right here.
Bring
I
it.
wish it was right there.
Yeah, might go down smooth in that White Claw, huh?
Dude, Kyle, so tell me, what do you think about, like, what's your mind like on these kids? Like, what are you hoping for to happen with these kids? Like, I know you've trained with Mike for, since he was a little kid, right? And like, I know you see him as inspiration, as like of what could happen, and like, what could be this kid. And I know because I've talked to you about this when you see kids, with talent, like how, they most of the time they don't know how far they can go because they don't see it themselves.
I don't think there is a way to know. I think you're either too overly cocky or you can't know. You literally can't know until you experience the next level. So you can have that confidence. Everybody needs to play with confidence. You got to believe you are that next level. For sure. You got to believe you are good enough. But the whole baseball world right now is driving me nuts. I keep saying I want to get on a field and coach, and every time somebody walks in, it's just another thing that's pushing me further away from wanting to get involved.
It's really hard right now.
I'm kind of sitting back watching from the outside, trying to help in every way possible. And I don't really know. I don't have an answer, so I can't go out there bashing the whole situation because I don't have an answer. But at the same time, I just think it's been years of being done, but I feel like the way things have gone in baseball, we have completely driven two different directions. You either have the kids that get no development whatsoever, sometimes just because of the money that's involved in travel baseball, and then you got the guys that can afford a lot, and then you got the guys who can afford somewhat, a good level of baseball, but have the talent too. So I feel like there's this level of player who is behind right now, but not because they're not good enough, but they're not getting the training.
And that's a good point, right? Like I said, I never had those perks to have someone train with me like that because, I didn't have enough money to pay for travel stuff, and I didn't have enough money to pay for like a personal coach or a personal strength coach to teach. Like you say I was big and strong and all that in high school, like I just kind of worked out on my own. I didn't know what to do, right? I didn't know any of that. Like if
I said big, I think I said strong.
Yeah, it's not
I was strong. Dude, if I had a guy like Kyle, like when I was in high school, you know what I'm saying? Like if I had a guy like us to hit with and train with, you know what I'm saying?
Atmosphere.
Like, like this atmosphere.
Not Mike.
Well, it's the thing. I think sometimes it's the money that separates that.
And that's sad because
you have guys with natural talent that just never been taught the game the same way. I don't know. I like I said, I don't have an answer for it. And I think the travel baseball is incredible because when I was going into college, when I was in the back end of high school, I think that's when travel started. Like I played for a travel team or two, but it wasn't like this. It wasn't an organization.
Yeah.
It was more like a travel team. You just went and
Still
played some tournaments.
Summer, yeah.
But you still did that after high school, after Babe Ruth, after Legion, and then you played on a travel team in the summer for a couple tournaments just to get some extra stuff in.
Yeah.
Where, I remember a couple of my buddies growing up, some of my closest friends, I think it was Super 17s, may have been run out of Cust, and that was the first I heard about. I didn't know what the heck
that was like the first team ever.
That's what I mean. I didn't know
Jack
what.
Cust developed the first team ever.
I didn't know what
Jack
that was.
Cust, I played the Diamond Nation.
I never played there.
Like ever, right?
Ever. First ever. Are you serious?
Ever, yeah, ever.
It's
They
the
traveled by themselves against nobody
It's
else.
him and Babe Ruth.
It was.
I guess what I'm
Jack
trying
Cust
to say
is Babe Ruth.
For those guys who can't afford all these things, if you're watching, right, don't get discouraged because, like, I was one of those guys who couldn't afford any of that.
Well, you got that. So you got just straight up work ethic, first off.
Yeah.
You have to work. You got to want it. And then, I think there is this return to what baseball is truly about. Not that, they're not playing real baseball anymore or nothing, but just the camaraderie and everything else. I mean, I coach some teams where I still love when I coach to do infield, outfield before practice, before games or whatever. People don't even know what infield, outfield is anymore.
It's a lost cause.
They have no idea.
Is that a thing? People don't know.
People don't know what
Kids-
infield
kids
outfield
They
is.
want to
know.
look good
They
before
don't
the
know.
game.
They have no idea.
You could strike the fear of God into a team if you do a good infield outfield.
Yeah.
In college.
And
Oh
get
my
every
God.
possible rep in that you need.
In college, oh my God, we used to strike the fear of people and whip it across the diamond.
But if you can get that back to that
Yeah,
baseline
no.
of what every level of baseball's getting, I just think the whole bottom needs to be brought up. I think
Yes.
there's a whole population of baseball guys that have just been completely left behind as far as all that top end stuff is concerned. But like you said, I don't think you need the top end stuff. I just think you need to love the game and keep playing. You need to show up.
Well, I feel like I've seen personally a decline in guys showing up period, because it's like, again, you like as a kid who sees, like I'm gonna speak in the behalf of Trenton because that's the area that I'm most familiar with. They've seen a decline in baseball. Players show up because they don't have a JV team, they don't have a freshman team anymore. They just have the varsity team typically because there isn't that many guys. There isn't enough guys to fill up 2 teams, let alone 3, right? Like I remember in Steiner they had 3 full teams.
Oh yeah, a lot of guys.
We
cut guys,
and then they still cut guys, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't even have enough to fill up 2, right? And it's declined since. And I feel like it's because as a kid, you're looking at your options, right? And you're like, well, what am I going to get here? I don't have the money to pay for these travel ball teams and this perfect games and all these tryouts and drive out to them and pay for all that stuff. So if I don't make it here, then what am I going to do? I'll just go play basketball. You know what I'm saying? Like we need to bring something else to show that this is fun to do. Like this is a lifestyle. This is like you're gonna love doing this, and even if you're not like amazing at it, you're gonna learn life values doing this. Right?
Oh my God, yeah. Baseball will teach you a lot.
Baseball teaches so much.
Humbling, man, big time humbling. Shout out Trenton High though. Shout out my dad, 30 years teaching Trenton High.
Yeah, your dad's taught 30 years in Trenton High. He was here.
The beast.
I think there's a lot that needs to be
The thing, like, I don't.
be switched up a little bit.
The divide in the swing makes me mad. I'm gonna say it easily enough. There's a direct correlation between swinging uphill, swinging down. You need a mixture of both. That whole thing to me doesn't make sense. Just because as a kid, imagine have someone telling you have to swing up, like all the time, or you have to do like just putting those type of terminologies into a young player's mind is crazy. Like what? Think about trying to do that from 46 feet. Like I don't know. There needs to be a more common ground, because a lot of the time I feel like you have kids, like parents come up to me like, swinging uphill. Like what do you think? I'm like, it's a really direct correlation of both.
What I call myself out there with the kids is I tell them I am your translator first and foremost.
Yeah, that's what we are.
I will be your translator. You can call me your hitting coach if you want, but I am your translator.
Yeah.
I need to know everything that your coaches are telling you.
Yeah, man.
And I will explain to you what it means. Dropping your back shoulder. Well,
getting on plane. They just say that like I don't know what that. I didn't know what that was until I was a freshman in college.
There is a lot of phrases that are said in hitting, pitching too, baseball period.
Baseball a lot.
Like we understand this table as a whole. We understand hitting better than anything in baseball, right? I can agree to that. There's a lot of terms that are said about hitting that I didn't really truly understand until like 3 years ago. I've been in pro ball for 7 years already.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand those terms until 3 years ago. The biggest one that like kind of threw me off was let the ball get deep.
Crazy.
Okay, cool. How simple is that? Like how often did you hear? I heard that so often because I feel like it's the easiest term to tell a player when they're pulling off. Okay, you're pulling off your shoulder. Cool. Let the ball get deep. Okay, so do this. Hit it back here. Because I'm still going to be pulling off. I never understood that until, a few years ago. And it's like, I feel like we as a baseball community need to get away from teaching like this is how it's done, and be a more one-on-one, every player is different type of thing.
So what kind of hitter you want to be?
Everybody understands that differently.
Yeah.
Everybody understands everything differently. Every player understands it differently. And
exactly, and I think that's the one thing that's the only part that drives me nuts is if we could separate what it is that gets me to do the right thing from what's actually going on. So when you get the top-end hitters in the league saying, I'm going down to this baseball, well, you're lying, first off.
Because you're not doing that. They're not doing that.
Right?
Mike Trout does not swing
and
down.
I'm not saying that doesn't make them hit well. Some of these
but
drills.
they understand that it does.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So, and then you got kids or parents or coaches coming up and go, they got to hit like this. And I'm like, well, no, that's incorrect. That thought helps tremendously.
Yeah.
But, like, if we could translate and say, these are some of the things that work well, and these are some of the things that are actually happening. You don't need to understand the scientific physics end of hitting. You just need to understand how to make it happen.
Yes.
So the wrong thing to do, or the wrong thing to do might be the right thing to say, because it might get you to do the right thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's the same thing that I say always, and I always say this, and I realize this in pro ball. You need to have the ability to train your swing a certain way in the cage and in batting practice to get the proper result in the game. So if I train my swing one way in the cage, I train to stay inside the baseball. I train to hit line drives, right? In the game, naturally, for me, that I feel like I'm going to get the result that I want to. So I'm not going to be working on dipping my back shoulder, and I'm not going to work on getting on plane or hitting on a slight up. I'm going to work on, like, being able to stay as flat as I can in the cage so that in the game I get that just, if I'm slightly maybe late or I'm early, that my barrel is still slightly being on that, like, right, like, not up, but, like, in a good even plane with the pitch, you know?
And that's the funny thing. Like, even you say that, right? And for you, that makes a lot of sense. And for me, it does too, right?
Yeah.
We might have some other people see that and be like, oh, I want to try that. And it may not work for them.
Yeah, 100%.
And then there's also maybe a few people who may listen to this and be like, well, Peroni said this works. And then they tried and it doesn't work for them necessarily. Maybe they missed something or whatever. I'm a true believer that you need to be your own coach. You need to be able to make your own adjustments, because guess what? When Peroni's not there, when Kyle's not there, when Mike's not there, when Crook's not there to tell you, hey, this is what I think, like, now at this point, you're left on your own. Mm-hmm. And you need to be able to make those adjustments yourself. So if you can't do that, not just in baseball but in life, but if you can't do that in baseball, now let's say Kyle taught me how to hit a month ago, and that day that me and him talked, I felt amazing, the best I ever felt, like your buddy did, right? And let's say I never ever get to see Kyle again, and from that day on, I work on the things that he told me to work on, which were really good. But let's say I have all the questions, and I start to experiment, right?
Translated incorrectly.
Right, and let's say now it's been a month, I haven't seen Kyle, and now I'm kind of all out of whack. Guess what?
Not a fully understood thought.
I'm not going to see him again, you know?
That's
now you got to
really good front toss flips.
And he's a lefty, and he flips righty.
He flips pretty good.
It's really weird.
I golf righty and putt lefty.
It's weird.
I feel
And hit baseballs
true?
lefty. Yeah.
No shit.
We got to see that. We got to get you out on
Of course, yeah.
If you weren't leaving
Come
from
to
Florida in
Florida.
a couple hours.
Come to
same.
Florida.
yeah.
Told you,
Couple
come to
hours.
Florida.
I'm actually heading from here.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Sleeping at
I
full
think
depth.
that you need to be able to take information, right? Take information and be able to dissect it, and not like, I'm going to study this and I'm going to write every single thing down and I'm going to break it down. No, what works for you so that you can remember it.
Yes.
We talked about this yesterday.
Yeah.
What
While
works,
we were hitting,
yeah. What works for you so that you can remember it, that even if he's not there, you can still do this on your own and find your way back.
That's the biggest thing at the end of each lesson is, all right, so what was that phrase that helped you today?
Yeah.
All right, back elbow, whatever, down to the ball, whatever phrase it was. They repeat that back to me so they can repeat that in the next without me, the next upcoming weeks.
Yeah. Because if they're not doing it themselves at home, like maybe you'll see them once a week, right? You'll see them once a week, and if they're not doing this the other 6 days of the week, then they come back to you the next Wednesday, and it's like, well, everything we did last Wednesday just kind of went to shit. If they're not capable of repeating.
What did we work on last week?
Oh, yeah, I think it was
hitting the ball.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not getting you anywhere, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Not getting out.
You gotta be able to be your own coach. You gotta be able to repeat.
95-mile-an-hour top spinners to the third baseman's ankles.
Those are doubles.
Sandbagger.
Who, Shin?
Where is he? Get him in here.
Shin,
That was
Piss
amazing
off.
to watch.
you sandbagging
He had the
bastard.
most longest, latest hands I've ever seen for 2 straight weeks off that machine until you bet on $10.
Is that all it takes?
Sandbag.
He
Put
did.
the
He
money
got
on the
us
line,
good.
dog.
He
What's
did.
up?
Yeah, we put it on the line.
He
Put
did
the-
not miss a barrel.
Put the gnocchi on the line.
Where's the gnocchis?
Put some
at?
meat on that.
I'm
and
hungry,
I'll be in.
man. Oh my god, boys, we've been at it for a while. What time is it?
I don't know. We
Oh, you
might have to
keeping
return to
track?
this.
It was really good.
Yeah. Is this a good
Good point to cut
splitting
it.
point here?
It's up to you guys. I'm ready to
All right.
talk for hours.
Well, how about next time we'll get Jake and Shin.
Yeah, we got a couple more guys.
Yeah.
We're shipping these two out. They've been cut from Full Depth, like I
And
said.
Tommy, get
They've been
Tommy in
exiled. Well, of course, Tommy's here.
December.
You know who I do want is Tommy's dad.
That would be really
Yes.
good. Mr.
Yeah.
But
Bell is
I need to
man.
put the headphones in for that, just so I can listen.
Yeah, you would
Yeah,
need
I
that.
got to hear that voice.
It would
Absolutely.
sound really good.
Yeah,
if you were at
absolutely.
The Phillies
I go to
Citizens
sleep
Bank
listening to
ballpark.
Tommy's dad
Yeah,
voice.
it's
Well, he's
good.
gonna be busy though. He's not.
Well,
really-
now
Is he
he
not
is.
too busy for this table? The round table
Well,
discussion?
they're in the middle of the
I will
season
bring
right now.
this table to Philadelphia.
Yeah.
That'll be a thing, right? Hey, that's what we need
Can you
to buy.
imagine carrying it?
That's what we need to buy
The
that new
traveling
truck.
table.
But we'll
The
return to roundtable discussions with some different people. These two are exiled for a couple months. I might have to find an
Peace.
oval table in Tallahassee.
But
Does that mean
we
I'm
will maybe do
grandfathered
some Zoom stuff. But my closing thing is, it's been great to be on here. Shout out to Jose and Full
Shout
Depth
out, Jose.
Productions. Shout out to Samantha, who is in the other room.
Shout out Sammy if you hear me.
Shout out to Samantha. She's got it. She's probably
She's
sleeping.
on her headphones.
She's
back
watching
there.
TikToks. This goddamn TikTok, man. These goddamn TikToks. That's what.
We'll get into that another day.
I freaking hate TikTok.
That can't be
Just
banned
kidding.
soon enough.
Just kidding, Abby. TikTok's really good.
All right, we'll return next time. Like
Yeah.
I said, maybe I will have to make a trip to Tallahassee. We'll
Yes,
do this.
man.
We'll do
We'll
this.
whack.
Tallahassee edition. We'll bring this table.
Yep, under my arm, right on the airplane.
Yep.
So,
All right.
all right.
All right,
Thank you.
guys.
Peaceful death. Peace.